Welcome back everyone. Today we are taking a look at a puzzle adventure game, Spinfrog, all aboard the Frogcopter. Yes, that is the real name for this little indie game from Studio Somewhere, the same team that brought us the charming Bonito days a couple of years ago, which I'll link to here for reference. Spinfrog is essentially the modern spiritual successor to Kuru Kuru Kuruin, a game I honestly never heard of until I saw it mentioned in the comments of a trailer for Spinfrog, and was released in the early 2000s for the Game Boy Advance. But since I never actually played any of the Kuru games, my time with Spinfrog will be mostly viewed through the lens of someone that has never played a puzzle game quite like this one. So what exactly is Spinfrog? Well, players control something called a Frogcopter, a rotating platform they must pilot through labyrinth-style courses from a top-down perspective. As long as you don't contact another object or wall with your Frogcopter as you move from point A to point B, you'll complete the level and move on. Conceptually, it is quite simple. These levels increase with difficulty as courses quickly get tighter and require precise movements or give you pick up and deliver style challenges to complete. The game becomes quite the challenge, and what might start as a relaxing, almost zen-like experience ultimately becomes a test of skill of Frogcopter piloting ability. How much joy you get upon mastering the game's controls is very dependent upon your own preferences and patience. For me, even though it would get a bit intense at times, the satisfying feeling of finishing a level after many attempts was always rewarding. Puzzles are completed in order through the game's story mode, which is presented with more charm than you'd expect from a puzzle game. There is a story about a toad and a frog trying to help the various creatures they meet along the way, which somewhat helped me forget that I was playing a fairly straightforward puzzle experience. Every level can be replayed to perfection through 3 goals: collecting all the coins, finishing under a set time, and not hitting anything along the way. Normally you would have up to 3 things you can hit, but you would have to do a perfect run in order to unlock that one achievement. This adds to the replay value a good bit, including collecting trinkets and purchasing other unlockables, but that's pretty much it. This is a single player experience, so there is nothing from a multiplayer perspective to comment on, which feels like a slight missed opportunity considering how much fun Studio Somewhere's previous game, Bonito Days, was in local multiplayer. When researching a bit more, I also realized that the aforementioned Kuru series was actually released to the Nintendo Switch Online subscription service in February, with 4-player races seen here, which looks awesome. I wish Spinfrog had this ability to replay or race any given level with friends just to add to the value of the game some more. From a technical perspective though, Spinfrog performs well. I rarely felt cheated out of completing a level, and I'm sure all my Frogcopter failures were due to my own lack of piloting skill. In the end, Spinfrog is a straightforward puzzle game with a clear goal and purpose, but in true Kuru form, a decent amount of difficulty. Because of the action style of the puzzles requiring some impressive timing and stick skills, it is definitely more for serious puzzle gamers than the lighthearted visuals and title might suggest, which is a pretty big change in game design from the studio's first game and more relaxing affair, Bonito Days, which I've mentioned a couple of times. Even though Spinfrog may get somewhat lost in the sea of puzzle games out there, since it doesn't necessarily do anything too drastic to stand out, and may not get the highest score here of all time, I still really like what Studio Somewhere has done, with their history of reinventing fun but lost game concepts. I recommend Spinfrog for folks looking for a pick up and play puzzle game. Just be ready for a challenge. The game is normally priced at $20, which is a bit steep, but it's on sale until April 26 at more than half off. So now would be the time to purchase if you've been on the fence. Peace out, everyone.